What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hammerdown Motorsports. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Steve Fast. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. It's a little bit of a cloudy day here in Pennsylvania, but we do have all the leaves changing color. It is near the end of October, just about Halloween, so we're just kind of getting into that fall weather, and we're out in the Rebel, so it's a good day. So we have 1,315 miles on the truck. We've had it for just over a month now, and we've done a few things to the truck. We've got a few mods done, we got a couple little accessories done, and honestly, this video is going to be about installing the Dixie Horn on the truck, but I ran into a little hiccup with that one, so I'm trying to iron that out right now, and then we will be releasing that video for you guys with hopefully an outcome that is going to be what I want, because I did put a bit of work into getting everything kind of laid out, and I'm just hoping for the best at the end of the day with that one. But you guys are going to have to stay tuned for an update on that very soon. But we do have a little bit of mileage on the truck. We got a little bit of experience with the Rebel now that we've had it for a little over a month. And just those of you who are maybe considering buying one of these trucks, or maybe you wanted to get a 5th gen Ram in general, these are just a couple of the things that I noticed about this truck. And after owning 2 of them, I got a little bit of experience with the 5th gen Ram, and just basically what you can expect after a month of owning your brand new Ram truck. So this isn't going to be your standard 5 likes, 5 dislikes kind of things, 5 things I hate about my truck. Everybody kind of seems to hate the word hate, and I mean, I can understand. I mean, it's just kind of a silly thing that people do with their vehicles. 5 things I hate about my vehicle, and everybody thinks then you hate your vehicle. Well, you don't. You're just saying the things that maybe you dislike about the vehicle that could be improved upon, which is basically how we improve vehicles in the future. If you look back to probably 1993, if you bought a Ram pickup in 1993, the difference between a 2019 and that truck is not even on the same planet. I mean, we've come so far with trucks, it's absolutely awesome, because for the truck people out there who want to have a luxury daily driver, you don't have to really sacrifice anything nowadays, and it's pretty awesome that you can get all the amenities of a luxury vehicle and something that you can actually use for utility. So with that being said, let's start things out on a positive. What do I love about my 2019 Ram Rebel? Now, in this spec, we did get the Ram boxes, and I gotta say, and I've probably said this before, Ram boxes, for me, an absolute must. And I know everybody says, oh, you lose a little bit of bed space, but you really don't. You miss those little corners on either side of the wheel well. You don't need those, because you don't actually lose them, you just get them on the inside of the Ram box, and you can put all kinds of stuff in there. It's absolutely awesome. You don't have to have a toolbox in your truck to carry your stuff. You got one on either side, and they're actually pretty roomy. You can put all kinds of things in there. If you want, you can put ice in there, you can put drinks in there, and you can drain them. There's drain holes on the bottom. It's super awesome. There's no other truck other than the Ram that has that. And at first, I mean, I gotta admit, I didn't really think I wanted that, and I wasn't gonna get them because I didn't really know if I liked the way they looked on the side of the truck. But the guy that sold me the truck, he had them on every one of his Rams. He's had a bunch of them. He's like, you want the Ram boxes, they're awesome. As soon as you have them, you'll love them, and he was absolutely right. Now, one of the downfalls of the 5th gen Ram, and I've seen it across the board, especially with your guys' comments, of anybody who's experienced this, when you disconnect the battery, the truck kind of acts like Cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation when you turn on the microwave when he's got the steel plate in his head.
You know that metal plate in my head?
How can I forget?
I had to have it replaced because every time Catherine revved up the microwave, I'd piss my pants and forget who I was for a half hour or so.
It forgets everything about the infotainment system. It forgets heat settings. It forgets that it has AC for a night, like one night. If you leave the thing plugged in for several hours, everything comes back on its own, which is weird. And I've talked about this before, but yeah, if you're new to buying one of these Ram trucks, if you disconnect your battery and reconnect it and everything seems a little bit wonky, you might just have to wait a little bit. And that's just something weird about this truck. I've never had any vehicle ever have that happen. So even as a mechanic of 20 years, yeah, that's a bit of a weird one for me. But luckily enough, everything does come back and everything is good, but it can definitely freak you out if you are installing an accessory, you plug it back in, and then boom, everything's gone. Well, yeah, that's just something you got to live with a 5th gen Ram. So next up is kind of a love and a dislike at the same time. The seats in the Ram Rebel are awesome. They're super soft, they're super bolstered, and just driving down the road, it's everything that you ever want. They adjust well, and the leather seats of high quality. It's much better than the previous models. I had a 2010 Ram, and the leather in that thing was pretty low quality and ended up ripping after a while with the perforations. And yeah, the seats in this truck are awesome. I actually like them better than the Laramie seats. They're a little bit softer than them. It doesn't have the suede inserts, but I found that kind of collected little bits of fabric and whatever from your clothes, and it was a little bit tough to keep clean. It collected dust really easily. So I would have to say the Rebel seats are better, and honestly, they've really come a long way with their seats. Dodge was never really known for a very comfortable seat. It was kind of a Chevy thing, and now that's kind of, the roles have been reversed. I do have a 2017 Yukon Denali, and the seats in the Rebel are much better than those. But as we all know who have bought a Rebel, the double-edged sword of these comfortable seats is they are only heated. They are not cooled. I've said this a million times, but yes, they do not have cooled seats available in the Ram Rebel. They have them in the Laramie, they have them in the Limited, and yeah, not for the Rebel guys. So, I mean, guys and gals, we have to suffer without them, and that's just kind of how it is being a Rebel owner. But all in all, I haven't missed them terribly. I would say maybe a little bit, but it's not a deal breaker for me. I mean, honestly, heated seats, they're there, heated steering wheel's there, so in the winter time, at least you have everything that you need. But on those hot summer days, definitely want to keep your panoramic window cover closed if you do have one of these trucks, and turn on the AC with the command start just to make sure everything is nice and cooled down before you get in, and you shouldn't have any problems at all. So now, as for the tires that are on the Rebel from the factory, these are the Dirt Tracks from Goodyear, and they are also a good and a bad, depending on what matters to you. These tires are really aggressive, and they have awesome traction, and they look really, really nice on the truck. They're actually one of my favorite aesthetic things about the vehicle. When I get out, I see these aggressive tires, and it just looks awesome. But they do have a little bit of noise on the road. I'm going to be quiet for a second, see if you can hear it. That's pretty much all you're going to hear. It's not overbearing or anything like that. I've heard way worse from other vehicles with aftermarket tires, but they do look good. They make a little tiny bit of noise. I haven't tried them in the snow yet, and I haven't really tried them in any kind of serious mud yet, but I guess we're gonna have to wait and see on that. But all in all, the 18-inch wheels with that extra sidewall does give you a better ride. So the Laramie with the 22s definitely rode a lot rougher than this truck. So the tires, definitely a like, very minor dislike. And also with the Rebel, you do get the better shocks from Bilstein, so that is going to contribute to the ride. The Rebel does ride better than the Laramie. So as far as issues go that we've had with this truck so far, I already mentioned disconnecting the battery caused the infotainment system to revert back to a base setting until we let it plugged in for a little while. That was one issue. And also I got a tiny little rattle in the front door panel I got to track down. It doesn't happen all the time, but it is kind of annoying. You hit a little bit of a bump or something, you kind of hear a little tiny little rattle in there. I don't know if there's like a clip or something that's dropped down or something like that. I did have the windows tinted, so I don't know if it had something to do with that. Maybe they had to move the door panel and something didn't click back in all the way, but I will have to figure that one out. And that's probably just something that's with my truck itself, not every Ram out there, because I never had that problem with my other Ram. But also, one thing I did notice on this one, it has a funny, like kind of a howling squeal sound that it makes every once in a while. It's really weird. It's kind of like the AC is equalizing and something's making a noise. Like, it's not while you're driving, it's when you shut the truck off, and obviously your compressor is going to turn off, and then you kind of get a little like, ooh, and it's kind of loud. But it's only for a second, and it doesn't do it all the time. I've heard it probably 4 or 5 times since owning the truck. I never had that with my previous Ram, but I mean, maybe it's just something with this truck, but definitely something that I did notice. So here we are at Lowe's. We're gonna go and get some lumber for the mezzanine, get some of that wall strapped up just so we can get our drywall all done. And we should be making some progress in there, which is very, very exciting because I can't wait to have a ceiling for the winter time, and then we can actually keep the heat inside. All right, next stop is lunch. I'm gonna go grab some takeout, and I'm gonna show you guys another good reason why to get the Ram box. And now for the best part about the Ram box. Once you've gone out and got your healthy lunch from Arby's, you can just put it in here. close it up and not have to have fast food smell in your brand new truck. And yes, I probably should lay off the fast food. I don't eat it all that often, but hey, it ain't happening today. So after just over 1,300 miles, we really haven't had any issues with the truck. It's pretty much been awesome. I mean, I'm really happy with it. Everything seems to work the way it's supposed to. Daily driving is an absolute joy in this truck, and it just looks awesome. I mean, going down the road, you get all kinds of looks at this thing. And having the Rebel is a lot more, I think, special than having the Laramie, just because it is kind of, I don't know, more of an outdoorsy, more of a sports kind of vehicle. And that's why I chose it over the Laramie after having the Laramie for a while. It didn't sit right with me, and I really wanted a panoramic sunroof, and we've been over all this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, the Rebel was a good fit for me. I love this truck, and really all the stuff that it doesn't have. I mean, I could complain all day about the fact that it doesn't have a front camera or a 360 camera or cooled seats or some of the options that maybe the Limited would have, and they could have very easily put in this truck. But you know what? At the end of the day, this is what they put out. I love this truck, and this is what I like to drive every day. This is what I've been putting my money into for accessories, and usually when I accessorize a truck, it's not one that I'm going to get rid of right away. I mean, the other one, I put a couple things on, tonneau cover, steps, just because it didn't even have steps. My wife couldn't even get in it. Yeah, so I did that kind of stuff. That added value to the truck, and it went with the truck when we got rid of it. But this truck, I kind of want to do a real build on, not necessarily like a super build, like we're not getting into the engine or anything like that. We're going to stick to kind of the bolt-on accessories and trying to just go through that with you guys and try out some different products. I would like to swap out the Nerf bars. These factory steps, they're okay, but they're not great. I'd like to get something as far as that goes, maybe something from Black Rhino, or if I can get a good deal on the Mopar ones, I might go with those as well, but they are a little pricey at around $1,000. But all in all, this build has been coming along. We have our Borla Attack exhaust, which I absolutely love. We have our American flag decal in the back window, which I will have a link in the description for if you guys are interested in that. I was actually thinking of doing the full panoramic sunroof decal on here, but I think it might be a little bit too much. And when I saw the pictures, it didn't really look that proportional. And I think this one in the back, for the $20 that it costs, was a pretty good bargain and a super easy mod. And every time I look in the rearview mirror, I get a little bit of America, and I really enjoy that. So in search for our rattle, I kind of just banged around on the door panel, shook the door. Doesn't seem to be anything loose there, but over here on the dash, you can hear that. Sounds like there might be something loose inside here. I'm gonna pull this side panel off and just see if maybe there's like a clip or something sitting in the bottom here. It's giving us that issue. Let's get our trim tool in here, pop this panel out. See what we got in here. I think I found our issue. This guy right here, this little wire connector, was actually just kind of laying on the plastic here, and every time I hit a bump, this thing would rattle. So we're gonna tie this up out of the way, and hopefully that fixes our rattle. And if you guys have the same kind of issue, this might be your problem as well. Rattle free. So there it is, everybody, 1 month with the Ram Rebel, and those are a couple of the things that I've noticed so far on our journey with this truck. And I'm sure we're gonna have many more awesome things to have happen with this vehicle as we go through all the different types of terrain and weather and seasons and all that kind of thing with this truck, and just see how it all performs. And it's gonna be an absolutely awesome journey, and we're gonna be taking you guys along, making sure you guys know every step of the way what it's like to own this truck. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys aren't interested in any of the Hammerdown merch, we do have a website, hammerdownmotorsportsusa.com. I just got these hats in. We have the Hammerdown Motorsports logo on them. They are a Pro Fit hat made by FlexFit, very high quality, and the best part about them is they don't leave sweat stains. These ones have a special material that actually helps breathe and all that kind of thing, and you don't get that white mark or anything like that if you do sweat in them. So very, very nice hat to wear. And also we have them in camo and black snapbacks as well. Also t-shirts and stickers and all that kind of good stuff. So if you guys are interested in any kind of merch, definitely check out the website. And if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And as always, keep that hammer down.